Information treating himself to we might make first. That's fine. Close to that H bar. More done before. Sorry, scrutinized this weekend. Organisations.
Yes, I do.
No, we've got rest from Yes, No. 5 minutes. Yes. When tasked, so they can just check to see how we're doing it on
Your driver is there. Is he a staff driver? He's just a driver who last minute.
Just trying to
Good to go.
It's going to be starting to real
Very much.
I set us to go live just because at least people can see the initial side of it. It's kind of.
I'm really sorry.
They can see something's
Can't see anyone beating.
Okay, good evening, everybody, and let's get the show on the road. Just before we start, I'll just go through sort of a little bit of housekeeping. There's no planned fire alarms, so if we do hear a fire alarm, then we've got two options. You can, out these doors, you can either take a right and follow the path, and it'll take us out the back, or we can sort of take a left here and out the front entrance, which you all probably came through, and head over the bridge to the area there. So, aside from that, right? So, I'd like to invite our guests from the Rotary Club and the Fire and Rescue, Lincolnshire Fire and Rescue there. So, thank you very much for allowing our students to be able to sort of work with yourselves and collaborate on that. It's very much valued in that sense there. So before we sort of move forwards, let me just want to say thank you to our project team as well. I won't go through all the names, but you can see there's a large amount of sort of academics who work on this, culminating into this particular event today there. So thank you to all of these. So this is what we got sort of lined up for you today. So very shortly, I'm going to introduce Dr. Joanna Smith, who will come and say some opening words on the 4.0 challenge. And then followed by that, we've then obviously got our students. So this is why we're all here. So we've got Team C1, led by Holly Day. We've got Team C2, led by Joshua Measures. D3 by Thomas Stringer, and B1 by Amelia Hinton there. So those are our top 4 teams who have got to this point to be able to sort of do their presentation. So we'll look forward to hearing all about your solutions at that point there as well. Then we'll be followed by Bradley, who will come and talk about his experience as being an alumni of the 4.0 Challenge Award. You'll be able to get some insight from him. And then we're going to go on to some voting. So I'm going to sort of draw on Chang to tell you about exactly how we go about sort of voting using poll everywhere there. So whilst we're sort of all voting away, I will introduce our new interim head of the business school, Simon Lilly, who will say a few words about the challenge and really how it sort of plays a central role within the university's mission as well there. And then it's time for the scores and the doors, really, and we'll be able to award our certificates to the teams that have taken place there. So great, and then we're done. So on that note, just before we kick into our little video, and then on to Joanna, we are doing canopies and drinks at the end, so please feel free to hang around and sort of mingle and network as well. And we're taking some interviews, or have we done those interviews?
Yes.
No? Yeah, so there's opportunities for some interviews. So we'd love to hear about your experience, particularly the students, in terms of, and our sort of businesses, in terms of how the whole sort of collaboration and the project went. So please spend a few minutes with Charlie and Hannah there just to give you sort of insights and sound bites on that as well. So let me start with a video.
I'll grab a drink.
Of course, no problem.
Okay.
It's not.
But to get to another level where the work you have done has been assessed and judged to be excellent already, you need to take real pride and delight in what you've done. And I'm quite excited to listen to your presentations today. It doesn't get any easier standing in front, at the front of a room. You know, I do this for a living and I get paid for this. So if you're feeling nervous at all, don't worry. We all go through this. But what is really great about this is it gives you the skills and the expertise that you can then take. Of course, I hope you've already banked it on your CV, and I look forward to seeing the LinkedIn posts that I'm sure will be fluttering across social media, both before and after this event today, and of course lots of photographs. Many years ago, I had a bit of an existential crisis and wondered why business schools actually existed as a sort of a construct, a departmental organisational construct. And I did answer the question, and of course we're here to teach business. And I think we teach business and management and all its associated subjects really, really well. I would say that one. And of course you see the talent and the skills of the colleagues, many of whom were on the slide earlier, that have supported you in the effort to get you to where you are now. But that's not the only reason why business schools exist. We exist as well to engage with businesses and with work and with voluntary organisations. And I'm delighted to welcome visitors today and to thank all our visitors and all our contributors to this particular programme, because without businesses and other work organisations engaging with us, we wouldn't have this innovative programme. So I'm really pleased that we're able to do that. So I don't think there's much more for me to say, but I know it's going to come in a moment and go into a little bit more detail about the challenge. Just to again welcome everyone. Thank you all for being here, and just to say how delighted I am that we've had this running now for many, many years, and long may it continue. And enjoy today, enjoy your moment of presenting good luck teams in terms of who might be our winners later. But remember, you are all winners, and this is just part. You're in second years, so this is just part of your university journey. So do enjoy every particular moment. Thank you.
Thank you.
So
That's great.
go that way.
That's fine. No. Yeah, and we'd like to invite Herbert along, who will sort of talk about the 4.0 challenge and put it into a bit more context there.
Okay, I'm Herbert Mafaira, Senior Lecturer in Operations Management. I think that has been defined by the video already. So I'll go to the next slide. But briefly, the point is about working with the real problems. It is challenge-based learning in the sense that we are given challenges. They can come from businesses, from the community. But the idea is that we learn by doing. And that's the best way of solving problems, because you know, if you are able to solve problems now, then you know the process of solving problems. So you can solve any problem that is given to you. So that's the concept behind the challenge-based learning approach, learning by doing. Now, in terms of the goal, there are twofold. For students, it's about developing employability skills, problem-solving skills, entrepreneurial skills, because when you are working on problems, you are using all these skills. You are examining how to work on problems. You are doing research. You are working in collaboration with your teammates and businesses. So you are using quite a number of skills which are relevant for work. And for business, it is good to get a fresh pair of eyes to look at your operations and to come up with some ideas that may enable you to relate better with your markets. Yes, we are working with the students, so it's experimental, but hopefully you will get some ideas that you can actually pursue them and get some results. And we found this from talking to previous businesses. They have implemented some of the ideas from students. So in terms of the concept about how it works, I think I'll put all this together at the same time. So we have a big idea, which is really an area of interest. So with our challenge, there's an area of interest which I will talk about later as we go. Then the essential question is really about the articulation of the big idea to allow students to know what it is about that they are working on. And then we've got the challenge, which is about translating the essential question into specific tasks for students to work on. So what we're going to see today, we're going to see the challenge, the tasks that students are working on. And of course, guiding questions, which is really about trying to point students into the areas where they should be looking for solutions. So it's about the type of problems that the government would like to be resolved. Then we provide guiding activities. So you see that we've been following a problem-solving process. So that's about providing a guide. And then we've also been providing resources. So this is the framework for challenge-based learning. There's implementation, evaluation, which has taken place, and then there's publishing. So the idea is that whatever we produce is available for anyone to look at. So in terms of our big idea, it's about the digital technologies in Lincolnshire. So our interest is to support our local business in adopting digital technology, hence UoL 4.0. So that's our interest. In terms of the essential questions about how the adoption of digital technologies positively impact Lincolnshire's economy. So as students come, they'll talk about their ideas about how this can happen based on the challenge that they worked on. So the challenges, these are the tasks that the students worked on. So we'll see those as we go. To briefly summarize, these are the challenges that we worked with. We worked with 2 organizations, and the challenges, I won't go through them because the students, as they come, will talk about their challenges. So I won't go through them. In terms of, I said we provide guiding activities. So this is the problem-solving process that we introduced to students. So first of all, it's about challenge structuring. That's about understanding the problem in its context. Before you solve any problem, you need to understand it. Otherwise, you get a solution that doesn't resolve the problem. And then after understanding the problem, then you look for alternative solutions. We want to choose from a number of solutions. That gives confidence that we've done thorough research. And then we evaluate the solutions and choose a winning solution. Now, we believe that learning comes through experience and you reflect on your experience. So there is challenge reflection, where students reflect back on their experience so that they are better prepared the next time around they work on similar challenges. Then the outcome of that was the poster. We had a poster exhibition in March, and then some posters were selected to come to the award ceremony. Hence, we are here today. So I think this is what we have been waiting for. So we are now going to the student presentations. I'll hand back to.
Thank you very much. That's great, fantastic. Yes, so now to the main item on for this evening, really. So let's start off by Team C1. So Holly Davies' team, if you want to sort of come up, please. You're more than welcome to use this. It's the bottom one to move the slides forward. Yeah, yeah.
And it's even.
All right, so I want to start off by saying welcome. We got the Rotary Club, and I just want to introduce myself and say that my name's Holly.
My name's Harry.
And I'm Anna.
I'm Becca.
Okay, and I want to start off by asking, who are the Rotary Club? So the Rotary Club is a national branch of the Global Rotary Organisation. The club is 100 years old and has grown to over 1,800 clubs across the UK and Ireland. It's made up of business professionals, community leaders and volunteers. And they are committed to service above self. They involve themselves in fundraising, volunteering and providing direct assistance to those in need.
So, our challenge was focused on the Rotary and how they can increase diversity and growth. We looked at multiple different questions about how we can solve this. So we looked at how can the Rotary attract more people into clubs, creating experiences that are attractive to a diverse group. How can the Rotary improve its profile? How can the Rotary attract people from a more diverse demographic? And how can the Rotary itself make it attractive to younger people?
So, as with any business, not just an SME, the macro environment is a key factor when it comes to discussing issues, whether that be political, environmental. In this case, we looked specifically at technological and social factors. We believe that implementing newer technological factors such as social media and website building, and implementing these social factors such as increasing demographics, were essential to providing a solution for the Rotary Club.
So we followed the TOES method, which means strengths, opportunities, weaknesses, and threats. So one of the things that we looked at was how to utilize the Rotary strengths and make it how we look at their weaknesses and make it their strengths. So we looked at things like social media and how to expand and outreach, and how by using social media, we allow younger people into the club. By following these methods, we also looked at developing initiatives to increase diversity and how we can address weaknesses inside the club internally. So following this method, it allowed us to brainstorm different ideas, which leads on to the next slide.
Yeah, so following on from this, we used the Lotus method just to come up with new ideas for the Rotary Club in regards to increasing of their diversity. We believe that the ways forward can be seen here, the main ones being developing an outreach strategy and that essentially their lack of awareness can be solved by social media, and that'll be straight right in the following slides.
So, there are many attributes to any problem. And the main ones we looked at, as stated, membership, outreach, meetings, and culture. In regards to membership and outreach, we believe that in order to increase membership of the Rotary Club, there needs to be greater outreach, whether this be through attracting newer audiences through social media, whether that be through modernising company culture to be a lot more friendly to a younger demographic. And if we were to look at a specific example, meetings, we feel that sometimes meetings in both location and the way they're put forward are a lot less appealing to younger people, as they may feel a lot more rigid, a lot more, let's say, pushed. We feel that a full modernisation and a full recreation of how the Rotary Club presents itself both socially and technologically is the best way forward.
So essentially the main solutions that we agreed upon that the Rotary should use are social media strategy, strategic partnerships and cultural training. So we decided on our final solutions being to develop an outreach strategy through social media and additional training through LinkedIn.
So how can the Rotary Club develop their social media strategy? I decided to design this infographic that acts as a step-by-step checklist that the Rotary can use. So to go in order, it's important that the Rotary Club define their goals, know their audience, develop a content strategy, post regularly and consistently to take advantage of that algorithm, engage with their followers, and use hashtags and keywords, and to ensure that there is consistent analysis and adjustments made. So the infographic is a useful tool for members of the Rotary Club who may be looking to improve their social media strategy, and can also be distributed to a large group of people to demonstrate the Rotary Club's dedication to innovation and communication. So how does this solution of updating the social media strategy impact these strategic goals, which is 5 performance objectives: quality, speed, dependability, flexibility, and cost. So the solution, we believe, will improve the Rotary Club's quality by implementing a more efficient and effective digital communication engagement strategy. It will improve the speed, as the Rotary can respond quickly to the needs and demands of the community. It will improve dependability by providing reliable and consistent means of communication and engagement with members. It will improve flexibility by creating with how it communicates and engages with members and the wider community. And it can improve costs. By streamlining processes and reducing the need for manual paper forms of communication, it will reduce and can reduce organisational costs.
So how does the increased social media presence and updated club culture help to increase diversity inside the Rotary? So we discussed different elements. So we discussed engagement, visibility, cost, diversity, and resources. So in each of these different ones, we decided that the increased social media presence, there's a potential to improve engagements within the local community, to increase your digital footprint and make sure that you're more visible. It lowers the cost of membership, and it has the potential to attract a more diverse crowd into the club. As well as this, by updating club culture, there's a potential to improve membership retention by using LinkedIn certificates to provide incentives to local members to make sure that they are being updated. There's also the potential to improve club perception within the local community. LinkedIn is such a low cost and easy and affordable option to train members. And there's also the potential to broaden membership perspectives to improve innovative strategic thinking.
As with any solution, no solution is perfect. We have highlighted here that there may be some resource issues, whether that be time, whether that be money, whether that be expertise. What we believe is this isn't a slap plaster on this sorted solution. This is something that's going to take a lot of time and effort. However, we believe that if the Rotary Club wants to increase its diversity and increase the amount of people coming into the club, they need to invest this time and effort.
Yeah, so at the end of this project, we all came together and did a reflection and spoke about what we thought that we gained from this experience, both from our perspective and also what we thought that we offered the Rotary Club. So it was challenging at first for us all to overcome the perceptions of the club. Even though coming together, we did decide that the solutions that we decided on fit them best, and that our ideas were beneficial to the club. We believe overall it's had a positive effect on our module experience and how it can be taken away and used in the future.
So in conclusion, we've really enjoyed working with the Rotary Club. We felt it was beneficial to our learning as well as the positive impacts this may have on the Rotary. And we look forward to any future collaborations between Lincoln University and the Rotary Club. So thank you for listening. Thank you.
Great, fantastic. Good for thought there. So the next team is C2, and that's led by Joshua. on to move along.
Right, thanks for coming. Myself, I'm Joshua,
I'm Jessie.
and we are today, of course, dealing with the Rotary Linking Club as well, and we're looking at ways to increase engagement. Now, who is the Rotary? As we know, they're a massive group, they're very old, they're very, very well established, they're here to basically promote peace, fight disease. They're a large charity, they literally span all across Europe, there are thousands of members, all coming together to try and make this world just a little bit of a better place. As you can see, they are all across the world, thousands, Asia, US, Europe, Africa, they're all over. Everyone's here, every part of the world, nothing is going to be left unturned. So about as there are a few clubs in Rotary, there's one, two, I think there's 4, I believe, in Lincolnshire. However, in ours, we've got about 20 members, we're a good club, and they have done so much already. Just here is a few of the lists, after a few of the key things we pointed out. They've done sausage festivals, they've done Fanta runs, they've done mentorship programs. They've helped everyone in Lincolnshire they could the best they can so far, and we really want to make sure they can keep doing this amazing work. And so in 20, 30 years, they can keep this amazing work just going on. So the challenge here is essentially we want to be able to make sure there are more members coming in. We want to be able to diversify the membership. We want it to keep going. We want a lasting legacy for this Rotary Club. Here's our original poster. This is what we presented to the club originally. Here's our work. It's essentially what we're going to go through right now.
So to give the most suitable solution for the Rotary Club, we analyze the internal factor is essential, and we use the tool of health measures with strengths, weakness, and opportunities and threats. And for the strengths, we think the club is appealing to those who are passionate to help the local community, and the information transparency on the website is a plus to the club. And for the weaknesses, we found that the Rotary Club is lacking of advertisements and have poor social media presence that people are unable to recognize the club. And for opportunities, we believe that the Rotary Club is, they already have their social media account presence, so we can fully utilize more for it. And for threats, we think that because they don't have to continuously on social media presence, so people are aware of the club and they don't have a large financial budget for doing paid advertisements. Here's a more detailed metrics.
And then, of course, we want to look at a wider view. We just want to focus in the club. We need to have explore out what the external factors, what are going to be affecting you from the political view, environmental view. Some of the key things we want to point out is technology and social. Those are probably the 2 biggest factors that are plaguing the Rotary right now. Other factors are more manageable. So social, it's a disconnect with probably the youth of today and social media and technology. It's there, but it's just not up to the level that we want it to. Then, of course, we have the environmental and legal side, a lot of standard stuff, complying with laws and making sure that we're keeping up all the activities that are going on.
For the brainstorming solutions, we have used the Lotus Blossom method. We gathered 9 different solutions for the Rotary Club. And the 4 of us think that the maximizing usage of social media and also setting up a social group run by students to add to the satellite group and funded by the university would be the greatest idea to discuss and analyze. And we also did a traditional checklist with a 5W and a how. And our target is the marketing member in the club. And we think the challenge is to create experiences attractive to the young diversity. And we think that to attract it, we need to more diverse the activities and more appealing to the younger generation.
So for actually picking our idea, we essentially did got together, got a whiteboard. We put some of the key ideas that we thought would be best. Overall, we came up with social media and society. So those are the 2 biggest issues we did. As you can see, marketing campaign. After the meeting, we found out that wasn't particularly the greatest idea. It wasn't particularly good. Website redesign and open days were good options, but they didn't fulfill all the criteria that we wanted for the club as a whole. So we then take a more abstract look at the 2 issues and we will compare them before we get into the internal part. So we could basically have a look, is social media societies, are they going to be able to cost, are they going to be accessible, are we going to be able to engage with people, how many people are actually going to be able to get out there? And they have their own advantages and disadvantages. So social media is amazing for how to get just the quantity of people out there. Whereas looking at societies, we have basically more quality. So we have to get to what we directly know, like we have to join the club that we want. So actually selecting when we then look at interpersonal sort of style, we then have a look at setting up a society is going to be amazing. Students come in year after year, the students come in, we're all dedicated, we want to be able to help, we're doing this course, so we're, we have good time management, we have all the amazing qualities. That would be an amazing asset to be able to support the Rotary Club. Social media, you see posts online, you're on Facebook, you're on Twitter, you're on Instagram, you see these amazing posts from other charities that get millions of views. It tends to be like a heartthrob story about some animals or some other activities that's happening. And if we could just get to that point, it'd be absolutely amazing to get just the Rotary up to that same stage.
But still, there are some drawbacks to both the solutions. While the setting up social society, the university may be only served during the time in the university and may not want to join after it, and more work needs to be managed with both clubs and the satellite group. And for social media, we have no way to know that who we are reaching to, and it is hard to go viral and needs time and consistency to do it. But it is not a guarantee. For sure, it is good for exposure, but the membership numbers can be very wide. And setting up a society, there could be 10 positions to be filled and funded by the university. And setting up society is better than social media because of easier way to sort the applicants and provide more initial control. And there could be ultimate opportunities for setting up society. The student running the society can actually set their own funds to help the problems they wanted to. And joining a club can be started with volunteering or with joining fees, but we suggest that starting with a small amount of joining fee can actually attract someone who is very passionate to help the local community and will also not be pushing them away.
However, as good as setting a society up, we also do believe that you do also need to push social media. It's not going to be as simple as here is your golden egg. We're going to have to suggest two final solutions for this. So we wanted to set a society up, but we also really want to focus on social media. What we recommend is if you have a look at the distribution between how many users, we don't just want you using Facebook and YouTube or just the top two. We want you using all 5 forms of social media. Now for this, we highly recommend you have essentially 2 approaches to this. We know you already have your social media manager, but what we want from him is we want him to be able to do weekly posts. We want him to be able to have a consistent quality from it. We're not looking for you to be able to set trends or do the latest fads from the young people of the day. We don't want that. We want professional posts. Weekly and quality, that's all we want. So this way, you just get the word out there. It can start small. We might only have 100 views per post, but eventually it's going to start racking up over the few months. We also want a distributed approach, so not only will your social media manager do it, we also want you to have everyone do it, everyone involved, from the president to just the person who joined yesterday. Get on your social media, post it to your friends, post it to your families, everyone can get involved. It doesn't have to be this big post. If you just want to take a selfie with whoever you want in the festival or the activity, knock yourself up. It's just as simple as that. Or if you want to post a tweet about it, just get people active and engaging, get your families in, as simple as that.
After all the work we've done, we have to do a reflection on our challenge, and basically we first feel very confused and very challenging about the work, but through the process we figure out the different ways to solve the challenge. And in the future, we probably might want to we could have done a blended approach with both society and social media to maximize the outcome. So that wraps up our presentation.
Thank you very much, and hopefully that will help you.
Great, thank you very much to Team C2. Next team up is D3, and that's led by Thomas.
Well, hello and welcome everyone, and thank you all for attending our presentation today about the Rotary Club. In this presentation, we're hoping to inform you about the processes we took to identify and select a solution to help the Rotary Club going forward. So our mission to begin was to grow and diversify Rotary Club membership, how we can attract more people, how the Rotary Club can attract people from diverse demographic groups into local clubs, can make the Rotary Club itself attractive to younger people, how it can improve its profile, and creating experience attractive to a diverse demographic group. So let's get an understanding of the Rotary Club, because me and Bill old-fashioned learn about the actual organisation itself, and then you can build on it and you have a proper appreciation for it. So the Rotary Club is all about community and giving to others. Now the Rotary Club does amazing things, whether it's nationally or internationally. For example, we had the amazing opportunity of attending a Rotary Club meeting where they discussed about the amazing aid they gave to foreign countries that are going through hardships at the moment, and also discussed about national events that go on to help raise funds for amazing charities going forward. So to sum it all up, the Rotary Club is a collective will of some amazing people who focus on giving back to the community and want to help others. I'll now be passing over to Tim, who will be discussing about our challenge structuring process.
Okay, thank you, Tom. So for the challenge structuring, we're going to start off with what's called a SWOT analysis, which is strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And what they do is they open up all of the different options and factors that the Rotary Club may face. But because there is so many, you have to cut it down. So we've cut it down to what's called a TOES analysis. And essentially what this does is it analyses the three main factors for each sector within the SWOT analysis. We use this to consolidate some of our points and get greater clarity and get a better understanding of what we're actually approaching. And doing this, we can find individual strategies to be able to target certain aspects of the Rotary Club itself. So, for example, one of the strengths that we know the Rotary Club has been doing is they are exceptional at hosting brilliant fundraising events. And such as the Santa Fun Run, and they've done this for a very, very long time. However, we know that one weakness may be over here, I'm kind of stood in the way, is an age gap. So it may sort of put the younger generation off a bit because they feel like they may not fit in. So to battle this, we thought that we could target the younger generation through things like social media. One, because it's cheap and it's cost effective for advertising. And also it gives them better information to find out how and why they may want to join. So we also did what's called a PEST analysis, and you use this to analyse all of the external factors within what may be affecting the Rotary Club itself. So with political, like everyone, they have to pay taxes, and when you're relying on strictly membership fees, it's not guaranteed, so it's not a stable and sustainable source of finance. With economic, if unemployment was to increase, it would mean that less people in the UK would have less disposable income, and therefore they're not able to come to many fundraising events because they simply just don't have the money to do so. And it may also mean that they can't join the club because they can't afford the membership fee. With social, if the popularity was to increase, for example, in the UK, it would mean that there's a larger target audience, and more people would be able to be focused on in order to join the Rotary Club itself. Technology, this is a big one, and this is one we focus on specifically. It's great for finding new strategies, boosting innovation within the Rotary Club itself and coming up with new ideas. Legal, unfortunately, when the Rotary Club needs to organise an event, they have to get a health and safety check for each time, and it can be quite inconvenient, so that is a bit of an obstacle. And within the environment, the Rotary Club cares a lot about the environment, and we know that. So to anyone in the general public that does actually care about the environment themselves, they're going to want to come to the fundraisers, or they may want to join a good cause simply because it's just doing a good thing. In the past 5 years, £18.4 million has been given to environmental causes. So of course, things like that are going to benefit the Rotary Club itself. Am I going back onto you now? Or? Yeah. Ooh, bit of wobble.
Right. So brainstorming area about this. So this is what you call a lotus blossom, where you have a central focus. In this case, upvalue the Rotary Club profile to a young and diverse demographic group. Now, underneath, and you're probably wondering what the color coding is. Well, traffic light, basically. Green, amber, and red. So these are based on two criteria: ease of integration and level of performance. So green having high levels of performance and quite easy to integrate, or it's a combination of both. And then it degrades so on towards the red. So one of our first solutions was creating a society inside the University of Lincoln that has online and digital activities as well as physical. So the way this would work is it would act as a recruitment arm for the Rotary Club to get younger people interested in the Rotary Club and ACT. However, for this to be effective, it'd have to have a high level of autonomy within the group. Still appreciating Rotary Club values, but at the same time, let's be honest, students genuinely do like their independence. I mean, that's why I left home from my parents. Nice bit of independence. So, and the other thing that we thought, which Tarina will be discussing a little bit later on, is the in our infographic area about the certification. So I'll let you hold on to that, create a bit of suspense for you. Updating the website. Now, the website is pretty, in our opinion, is pretty much the face of the Rotary Club. That's what you want to send out to people. That's what you're saying, I am this, and I want to be amazing. Now, some of our people who are a lot more technologically advanced than I am found that the user interface was a bit poor and the general aesthetics wasn't very pleasing. So we argued to update the website would not only just improve the image of the Rotary Club and people go, oh my goodness, that's an amazing website. At the same time, people are more likely to spend longer on it and go, oh, you know what, this is actually quite a good club. I'm going to have a proper look at it because they're not going to get frustrated with the user interface and they like looking at it. Onto the ambers, using social events for younger people. So has anyone heard of Young Farmers? Yeah. Right. So basically, for those who haven't, it's basically a bunch of young farmers either meeting in a market or a field, talking about their passion for farming, and let's be honest, having a big drink. And why not apply this to the Rotary Club? Get people who are interested in giving and helping to people. Meet up. It creates fellowship, which is one of the major core values of the Rotary Club. Why not join together and talk about your passion about the Rotary Club? It creates fellowship and people enjoy it. And the next one is collaborative work with charities such as the Red Cross and Samaritans. So naturally, this helps create synergetic relationships. You have amazing charities who have a lot of funding. Therefore, the Rotary can be involved in bigger projects. And the Red Cross and Samaritans genuinely do have a younger audience. So collaborative work would actually really benefit the Rotary Club. You get young people to be on the Rotary Club and you can go into more activities. Right. And for young people, have a reduced membership fee. Now, university students, £100 is a lot of money. I don't think any of us are going to argue with that. So what we argued, why not have fees based on age bands? So the younger you are, the cheaper it is, and the older you get, the more expensive it is. Because we were thinking, well, reduce it all, but at the same time, you lose funding for big projects, and we definitely don't want that. Right, so those are all the ambers. Right, red. Sponsor a young sports team. So, yeah, genuinely quite good, creates awareness, but very expensive. Instead of having face-to-face meetings, make online meetings the default. We're all very busy at the time. We genuinely just want to go to a meeting. We don't want to drive all the way out for somewhere, then drive all the way back. Just have an online meeting where you can discuss the major things and you get more people interested in, get more communication, I argue. Attend guest lectures and promoting the lecture. You all are industry professionals. We all admire you and we go, we really do want your input and we do want your experience. So when you're giving guest lectures, you can say, well, we know other members who are more experienced in this sector. Why don't you join the Rotary Club and we can discuss it with you? So that's another one. And make pop-up stands outside the university. So these are the unions and bars and so on. But let's be honest, most people just go walk straight past it. Next one. Social media integration. Now, I'm not going to repeat what everyone else has been saying, how amazing it is. It's basically very cheap, very effective, loads of marketing ways you can use, emotional marketing, so many others. And it's just a great way to increase brand awareness, and everyone's on it, let's be honest. So why not? And graffiti cleanup. Now, If it's a Banksy, leave it alone. But but every city I've ever been to, there's always a bit of graffiti, and it ruins the city, in my opinion, or town, or wherever. So clean it up, and then put a little badge over and say "Clean by Rotary." People will naturally just go, "Oh, someone's actually cleaned up the city," and they've got a little banner saying "Clean by Rotary." I'll have a quick look into them. Hopefully they'll go in collaborations with other societies and other university members. So this is the litter picking, volunteering, everything else like that. They'll share some core values with the Rotary Club. So it's a very synergetic relationship. So why not? And newsletters, student newsletters, just put in why you should join the Rotary Club, what are the benefits, what you get out of it. Yeah, so those are all the brainstorming solutions. And I'll be handing off to Tarina now, who will be discussing the evaluating and selecting.
Wow, okay.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, so here, the first three solutions were the updating the website, the society, and it was the social media. So solution one, as you can see, big favourite of ours, which is having the society. Solution two was no, it wasn't. It was social media, thanks. And solution three was the website. Obviously, the first thing if you want to know the Rotary Club is, what is the Rotary Club in Google, the first thing you see is the website. But for us to be able to keep it close-knitted within the university, we feel like the society is the best solution. But we're obviously going to be comparing these two, which Tim's going to go into the next slide for me with a little dance, I don't know. There we go. As you can see, it's come to solution one. I can't even see, I've even got glasses on. Student society, solution two is on social media, and this is where you can see what we've got. So quality, flexibility, dependability, cost and speed, which is a big thing for, let's say, people that want to join the Rotary Club, and as well as yourself, you want to make sure that you can get the best out of what you want from us. So next slide, please. Have we got it? There we go. So we've gone straight to the society. We think this is the best thing. Close knitted, you want to improve in Lincoln. So here, external is us, uni students, and internal is yourself. So what you've got to do to provide the external. So us wanting to keep going with society. So dependability is obviously quite a big one, but obviously cost is a big one for us. I'm willing to spend £100 at a pub, but I won't spend it on a membership, but that's me, I don't know why. Obviously you've got flexibility, we have a busy timetable, so obviously you've got to fit around us, so that would be yourself. Ability to change, so every week is going to be different for your students, but external, we would be happy to achieve create different activities. So on to the next slide, please. Yeah, please. So here we've, which Tom's kindly done, created an infographic for us, which is activities, social media, awareness programme, certification. So activities is what we'll be doing in here. So like, say you'll be doing, I don't know, go to the do a quiz night or whatever. Social media, you're still using social media, but it'll be also helping you like represent yourselves. And plus merch, which I think is a big thing, because the University of Lincoln use it, and now I'll chuck it on and I'll be going back home to Cleethorpes and I'll be representing it there. So if anyone who joins the society, some of them, like I've got a friend who lives in Gibraltar, she could go home and she's wearing a Rotary Club jumper. There you go, you've represented Gibraltar, people are going to be questioning that. And then once you've completed the society and the different activities, you've gone through it all, you could gain a certificate, which is obviously good on the CV because then businesses are going to look at it. What's the Rotary Club? And they're going to go through that. Obviously, and then it will encourage businesses to work for yourselves to create, say, different activities. But now I'm going to pass on to Sophie to talk about how we work as a group.
Thank you, Tarina. So basically, this is a reflective process of us working all together. So our task was to basically problem solve for the Rotary Club, and we decided to focus on social media, demographic, and just increasing the numbers. And we thought that the society did actually solve a lot of these problems because university students who are more advanced in technology could also help do the social media side. It was our first time working together as a group, and we did have great communication and organisation, and we were able to come up with this as a group. So I'd say we worked quite effectively together. The only problem is we weren't entirely sure of who the Rotary Club were before this challenge, which I guess has helped us to expand our knowledge and to just research into you guys. So that's basically how we work together as a group, and I'll pass over to Mia to continue the process.
Yeah, so pretty much just to conclude all of the information we've just thrown at you for the past few minutes, we did work amazingly well as a group, and if we could do it again, the only thing that we would really want to do is be more prepared for the meeting that we were able to join with you. Maybe just a list of questions that we could have referred back to when making all of this up for you, just to really personalise it up to you. So obviously, after all of the discussion and evaluating, and then discussing the evaluation, we had to finally come up with the society, which is not only going to act as a brilliant way to spread more awareness of the Rotary Club, but it's going to act as a brilliant recruitment branch for people of a different age, ethnicity and gender, which is also going to help remove the gentleman's club kind of aspect from the Rotary, which is going to make it look more inclusive and progressive. I completely forgot, I'm sorry. So yeah, also we wanted to include an award for the student members. So we've kind of gone with the Duke of Edinburgh inspired 1 year, 2 year, 3 year kind of thing. So that is gonna incentivize the students to continue with their membership throughout their entire education. And then after their graduation, hopefully we can then integrate them into the main body of the Rotary Club. So you're not just gonna get 3 years of students and then have to restart all over again. We want to keep them into giving back to the community and getting more integrated with everybody in the main Rotary Club in their kind of area. Oh, that wasn't. I thought it was the next slide for it. Oh, no, there we go.
Well, thank you for listening to us. I hope the presentation has been enjoyable as we've been working with the Rotary Club. It's been a fascinating time for us all. So thank you all very much.
Well, last but not least, we have TV1.
So hello, I'm Amy Lincoln, and I'm doing Lincolnshire Fire and Rescue. But basically, my presentation is sort of going over different ways that Lincolnshire Fire and Rescue can improve their improve their engagement on issues of fire safety. Yeah. So yeah, firstly, who is Lincolnshire Fire and Rescue? So overall, they're just a fire and rescue. They're a fire and rescue service that covers the non-metropolitan county of Lincolnshire in the East Midlands region of England, and they cover 2,286 miles. And the headquarters is now part of the Joint Police and Fire HQ based in the Lincolnshire Police Headquarters in Neville. And then I'll give a scroll up again. So then just some quick statistics on the service. So they've got 624 firefighters, 38 fire stations and 84 fire appliances. It's quite a big service overall. And they've attended 7,594 different incidents in 2022 alone. And in 2022 as well, they attended 1,828 fires. So what the challenge is was to investigate how Lincolnshire Fire and Rescue can just engage more with the community, because I think it's difficult on issues of fire safety how they can engage, and so just looking at ways that we can improve that engagement and just really bridge the gap for the communication within the community. So to firstly tackle the challenge, my team and I conducted a SWOT analysis of the service, looking at its strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats. So some examples of the service's strengths was that they already had 15,000 followers on Facebook and 26,600 on Twitter, which is really great engagement, like from a social media perspective, because that is a lot of followers. So they've got a really good engagement already online. And they also had 2,749 followers on Instagram. So again, really good social media presence. But some weaknesses and threats were that sometimes people just find fire safety campaigns boring and uninteractive. And also some fire safety, it can also be mainly aimed at children rather than lesser adults. And actually, it should just be aimed at all ages because it affects every one of us and it can happen at any moment. So everyone needs to be aware of fire safety. You want to go to the next slide? Thank you. There's also been some government cuts which have put a lot more pressure on the service because obviously they can't put as much money into engagement. So that's why they're looking at different ways that we're doing a bit cheaper. So yeah, because they need to put the money obviously back into the service. But there is also some opportunities for the service to gain some further engagement with the public, which includes maybe going to schools and universities more because talking to people is free and we can do it easily. And it's great because you can speak to so many people. Like in a university lecture, I put lectures of 200 people, so you can really engage with all those people in one go. You can also maybe try and start a YouTube or a TikTok account because that is so current and it's keeping with the current trends. And that, just think about how many views you can get on just one TikTok, so that can make a really big difference. And also offer your campaigns in more languages because there's constant, like, a lot more immigration and people from different cultural backgrounds. And as we sit now in an international business school, so think about how many different languages. So just doing your campaigns in more than one language actually makes such a huge difference to engagement. So we also then conducted a personal analysis, which considers political, economical, sociological, technological, legal and economical factors which may influence on the service. So for example, one factor was that from an economical point of view, the cost of running the events to engage with people can be quite expensive. So the money should perhaps be being invested into services, again looking at ways that we can do this cheaper. Or sociologically, there's currently a lack of education and awareness of fire safety in many areas across the UK, which can be impacting on the services engagement because people just aren't aware of what campaigns are out there and what the fire service is currently doing. So it's about looking at ways that can be made more aware. So from our analysis, we then developed 3 different solutions because the challenge was quite broad. So firstly, we kind of came up with it wasn't on the board, but have a go days and just kind of getting there and really getting on hand experience. And so you could go into the fire station and go for a tour of the fire station because I personally have never been in one. I'd find that fascinating. That really engaged me. And also just doing tours of like fire engines, which might be more appropriate for children, but actually I'd still find it fascinating. And just like videos in real life scenarios, like my gun is an ex-fireman, and he said he used to like go up a tower and they'd show you kind of different heights that firemen would travel to and like different, how they get up the towers, like using ladders and stuff. That's actually, it would be really great just to see that from a person's perspective. It's normal anymore. And then secondly, information days in schools and unis, particularly during like freshers and careers fair, because that's when people are most engaged in terms of a student perspective. And you could hand out little freebies and actually students love a freebie. And that would really just engage us from the get-go, from the start of university. And then lastly, doing a social media campaign, particularly on TikTok and YouTube, because that's where the trend is at the moment of views, and that's where people are really posting at the moment. So it's really great to have a bit more of a presence on that, because we don't currently. So to evaluate the solutions, we used an advantage and disadvantage table, which found each solution had both advantages and disadvantages. And as you can see, each solution had both 2 advantages and 2 disadvantages, so it wasn't very conclusive. So from that, we then used a radar chart, which is on the next slide, sorry. We then used a radar chart to figure out what the best solution would be. So we compared the 3 solutions across 6 factors: cost, accessibility, information, turnout, public involvement, and memorability, because we kind of felt this was the main factors that are in engagement. And so the solution which scored the highest on this chart was the public have a go days, because it is most memorable, and also more public involvement. And also it is still quite accessible for everyone because it's free, anyone can attend that. And also in terms of accessibility to disabilities, normally it's quite flat, so a lot of people can still access whether they've got mobility issues and such. So then after analysis, so after we felt that to gain the most engagement, the use of the public have a go days would be the best solution, but also use this alongside a social media campaign and other printed media such as posters and posters for university halls. Because I was thinking about it today when I was in my kitchen, I don't have any fire safety knowledge in my kitchen, and I'm in still student halls apart from a fire kit. It's actually be really great to have that presence in the university kitchen. Think about how many people you can engage just by accessing university halls. Like there's thousands of people who live in halls, and actually it'd be great to do this across Lincolnshire. So that was one option. So yeah, we felt that I lost my train of thought, sorry. So yeah, so it'd just be the most memorable. But yeah, the using the social media campaign would be great because it's keeping with the current trends, and it is again cheaper. We've already mentioned that, so it is a cheaper option. But through an online presence, you'd be able to access a lot more people, and because it's a national social media, anyone can access social media. It's not just people in Lincoln. So actually, it would be great if you can access and give engagement and fire safety on a national scale. And then finally, lost my train of thought. Just overall, the Have a Go days were the best solution, but followed with a bit of print media and a social media campaign. Then to conclude, we used Give 6 Days Reflection, which included a description of the work we've done and our feelings of our work that we produced. And then finally, an evaluation and analysis, which would just kind of give us a deep look at the solution we created, and then a conclusion and action plan. So overall, after this reflection, I feel that my team and I have produced a viable and actionable challenge solution to the engagement challenge, and the solutions we've developed are a true reflection of the research that we've conducted on engagement and the public. And in summary, our solutions will provide a way for Lincolnshire Fire and Rescue to efficiently improve their engagement with the public. Thank you very much for this.
Great, thank you very much, Amelia there. Right, at this point then, we're going to bring on Bradley and talk about his experience of being a 4.0 alumni here. So Bradley, please come on board.
Can I borrow some?
Of course.
Scroll.
If you want a slideshow, you can do show from current slide. Also slide on the top left. I'm Brad. Otherwise, online store technician. Company. On LinkedIn if anyone's interested. Who am I? So again, I'm Brad. Online store technician. My role requires me to work with e-commerce managers, managing directors, and website designers, along with our in-house web designers and project managers to provide professional services for our customers and other employees within the business. A little overview of Boardwise. It's a leading UK enterprise resource planning system. a web store and cloud hosting provider. We have wide robotics, so we have robots that will go through Amazon warehouses, hopefully in the future, that will, instead of pickers walking up to the warehouse shelves, the robots will bring the shelves to you, and it minimizes so much warehouse time and safety precautions for the employees. High street brand customers, so John Lewis, all of their warehousing is done by our company. Again, with New Look, all their warehousing is done with our company. Other customers who purchase the robots have large warehouses that they supply for high street brand customers. Opportunities. So progression within the Forterra Group. So our company just went very corporate from an SME recently. And Forterra Group have taken over, and they have companies all over Northern Europe and the United Kingdom with customers who we now work with together. And there are progression goals within the Forterra Group itself. And I aspire, if I was stay with the company for longer, to be a web project manager. So I'd go and meet our clients, I'd speak to them about what they want, and I'd create a website and implement the functionality for them from that. My responsibilities: provide integration support between customer databases and their online stores. Support customers with email marketing campaigns using things such as MailChimp and CRM software that you guys, if you haven't already, will learn about during your university experience. Integrate Google Analytics, Google Merchant Pages, and Speed Insights to provide up-to-date analytics for their site. Provide suggestions and support SEO, metadata, and Google Tag Management. Provide support website design, functionality, and styling, such as menus and scripts used within the site. Manage plugins and support the integration between plugins and customer databases. Aid my team and customers with SQL code. And provide suggestions and integrations with CRM technology, such as MailChimp. So my journey so far. Like you, studied at the University of Lincoln. I partook in the UoL 4.0 challenge during my first year. Provided a real-world digital marketing solution to White 7 and SME, just like Rotary and the Fire Station here today. My team created a digitalized marketing strategy, including social media marketing, email marketing, and a targeted advertising campaign. We engaged in high-level teamwork, critical thinking, and time management skills together. We researched and implemented digital marketing framework and processes for the company. We pushed the limit of my knowledge and the team's knowledge, and it forced me to learn more and provide a winning idea. And provided me the opportunity to work with like-minded students and share ideas, building our knowledge pools and our employability skills. It introduced me to new marketing technologies and concepts. And that took me on to the masters that I studied here with Chang over there. And I wouldn't have ever studied my masters if I didn't do the challenge, to be honest, because I did business management, so marketing wasn't really forte on my course. This gave me an extracurricular window into marketing and put me where I am today. Transferred the experience of working on a real-world solution for SME to my study when working with local SME beer heads, because I had to do a similar sort of project to what you guys are doing here. So I'd meet with them on a regular basis, I'd learn the business inside out, and I'd create them a digital marketing strategy. Develop my understanding of digital marketing through the knowledge and support of my lecturers and peers. I accessed cutting-edge technology and digital marketing frameworks while studying, improving my employability and research skills and my just doing skills. Because it's all really the same, you know, how something works. Yeah, hands-on experience such as you guys are getting here really, really helps for being employed. High-level critical discussions with guest lecturers, my colleagues and tutors built my knowledge of the subject and created confidence in interpersonal skills that I use in my professional life. Preparing for career, so same as the point above. So my professional journey. Obviously, with Otherwise, transferred skills such as time management, critical thinking, high-level teamwork, and the professional work behaviour I learned alongside SMEs into my work life, because I got a real hands-on experience with people such as Rotary here. Skills such as SEO knowledge, previous work for businesses during my study, and the entry to the 4.0 challenge. And my overall digital marketing skills allow me to join the business faster than most of my colleagues, as I'm the youngest person on my team. Problem-solving skills learned during both UoL 4.0 challenge and my studies have helped me excel in investigating issues for customers and implementing fixes, just as you guys have done here. I utilise skills, frameworks and experience from my study every day to help me provide high-level professional solutions to customers. And then planning a business strategy such as a wide scope strategy directly transfers into the SEO and marketing work we carry out in the future. So career goals is to progress again into a project manager role. Growing Pixel Enterprise, a digital marketing agency I created with my colleagues I met during my study on China's course. Researching during my study helped me in my personal development with blockchain research and investing in improving my employability skills further. Interacting with the university through events like this, such as alumni, it's very, very good feeling getting your CV. One slide, my advice to you guys. Don't take a backseat. Ask questions, challenge theories, and brainstorm with colleagues. You're all colleagues now, we're not just friends or seeing each other, you're all our professionals now. Take initiative in your work and integrate real-life Industry 4.0 solutions to your work. Stay open-minded. Open mind is often the key to closed doors. Adapting your mindset as you grow as a professional is key. Cultivate professional relationships with lecturers and colleagues. Building both personal and professional relationships is key to success. Remember that you're not just students, but also practicing professionals. These skills have allowed me to start my own business with my other professions. And leave your comfort zone. Leaving your comfort zone whilst researching, writing assignments, or applying yourself is key. And dreams die in the comfort zone. Thank you.
Opportunity to ask any questions if anyone. Otherwise, thank you, Brad. That's great. So it shows you how the 4.0 can certainly open doors there for Brad in terms of his career pathway there at the moment. So good stuff. Right. So this is the point of handing over to Chan. She's going to explain how we can all vote on poll everywhere. So over to you, Chan.
Okay, thank you very much. So we need the next slide, if that's okay.
Oh, yes, that's right. Yes, that's the correct name. Yes.
Don't
And
go
then
any
next,
further.
the next one. Yes. Here we go.
There you go.
Okay, so thank you very much. This is the time that I would like everyone to take out your mobile phone and activate your camera. So as if you were going to take a picture. So this is the Scan Me QR code, quick response code. We've tested already before the award ceremony, and this is the activity we would like everyone to join in. So whether you're students you just finished the presentations, and we've definitely walked along the journey that you presented with us. We also would like to involve professionals who join us this evening, the academics team, and parents, families, friends. So please, everyone joining us. And if we have any audience online, please also feel free to scan using the mobile phone as well. So this is the time that you are going to vote. So you will have the up and down arrows. So you can vote, making sure you rank the following presentations with your favorite one first, and then obviously going down. I just want to take this opportunity to say what amazing evening tonight that you have presented all your projects. And it's so good that we actually have this opportunity to see the process you all have walked through within the individual teams that you worked with, and also different organizations you have connected with within the UoL 4.0 challenge project. Okay, and certainly I just want to say thank you also to Bradley, who's our alumni and who has kindly demonstrated through his show and tell the stories about his professional and career development. So on this note, I just want to double check with everyone. Everyone's managed to go on to this site and then click the ups and downs arrow. So everyone will have one vote. I think
whilst the audience is voting, we probably could move on to the next one.
You do it in order.
The timing is that long. Once
Yeah,
all
I
the,
voted for Amelia. She did it on
the
her own.
votes
That
are
takes
in. Anyone has got any questions or need a little bit of support? I'm quite happy to support you. Everyone's
Literally click on it and go on. I know it took me a while. Go on, just
Yeah, I've got colleagues who confirm that once they have submitted, obviously your screen will freeze. Basically, one vote per audience. So we're not obviously allowing the second time voting, which is the clever part of the system. Yes.
QR code there, and it has a tree all there, so it's
brilliant idea, actually. Yeah.
Well, I guess whilst all that's happening, we'll move on to our guest who is
That serious courage.
Mr. School Simon Lilly.
Thank you very much. I'm not sure I can actually distract you from the excitement of the technology, but I'm going to try. Right. Well, it's a pleasure to be here, and great to see such excellent presentations from all our students, I think. So thanks to them. Thanks to the academics and professional service staff that supported them in getting to that point, and indeed thanks to Brad for coming back and telling us tales of where this might lead. So most of you probably won't have come across me, even though I have been working in the university for nearly 2 years now. That's largely because prior to becoming interim head, I was serving as director of research. So the only way in which you'd have come across me is occasionally I used to waft into some of the research methods courses, give a guest lecture, and walk out again without having to do any of the marking, which is ideal work if you can get it. Now, I wouldn't have thought immediately about coming to Lincoln myself before coming, but I'm very, very glad that I did. I've had a whale of a time since I've been here, and I want to continue working here for as long as I can, and indeed for that interim role ideally to turn into a permanent one. And I think whilst we do teach you a great deal about strategy, nobody ever seems to realise that the strategy is not just for organisations, it's for individuals too. Everybody is strategising all the time if they're likely to succeed in life. And one of the things you learn if you're anywhere close to a leadership role is that the key strategy is to give your organisation's strategy back to it, and back to it with a vengeance. And I think challenges such as this absolutely embody this. So what is the university strategy I hear you all call? Because obviously it's top of the mind and front of our attention for all of us. It's 3 key strands. You'll be pleased to be reminded, obviously because you all know, is that we transform, we collaborate, and we challenge. And I think actually University 4.0 is, UoL 4.0 is particularly amenable to this, and even more amenable to this if you have a good colleague like Herbert who's given you these prompts in advance, so you didn't even have to think about it yourself. So how do we transform? Obviously we take fresh-faced, wide-eyed, enthusiastic students and turn them into flint-eyed professionals who are going to go out and extract all the resources from the world and make themselves very rich. No, we don't do that. We take bright-eyed individuals and turn them into responsible citizens who are hopefully going to lead and manage the organisations of the future. Clearly, this sort of experience is ideal for that. It enhances the opportunities, experiences and outcomes that our students are able to experience, deliver. We collaborate. Well, you all worked in teams to do this. Not only have you worked in teams with each other to do this, you've had the challenges of working with external organisations, working out what it is they need and want, and delivering something that's of value to them. And finally, on that list of 3, we challenge. I think there are a few things more challenging to students than confronting the outside world and the demands that it might have, given their difference to the demands that much of university education and life has. And this is kind of precisely the sorts of things that enables the bridge to be built between the student experience and the horrors and delights of that future world of work, where people actually give you money rather than take money away from you to allow you to be in their organisations. So, without further ado, and without holding you up any longer, I am hopeful that we are getting close to a point where myself and my glamorous assistant Taz can start to tell you the outcomes of your endeavours today.
Just bear with us just a couple of minutes while we just sort out the final results.
And I imagine we're going to do this in the traditional styling of the reverse order. There are no losers here. There are only winners and more winners, more relatively winning than the others, because as you all know, you've already been rigorously selected. You are the creme de la creme to be in this room at all at the end of the challenge. And it's just about separating out the very top of the peaks of performance on this module in the eyes of all of the people assembled in the room who voted on your performance. So,
we're just waiting on the certificates to appear.
So, improvisation is another skill you learn at university, I gather. Obviously, there's a recursive thing going on here, so we've got an eye to our social media while you've been working on the social media of other organisations. And I think it's probably worth noting, as I'm sure a number of you are aware, some of your endeavours have been extremely successful, because as soon as I finish here, I'm off to a meeting with the members of the Rotary Club to discuss the ways in which a student society might indeed function as a sensible way forward to enhancing diversity and membership there. So it's a fairly evident real-world impact of your activities. I assume we're just tramping the papyrus to make the certificates to award to you. Brilliant. Right. Okay.
I feel like I'm back at school.
You've saved the day.
Really well.
Right.
Reverse order then. So there is a joint winner as well. So in third place, I'd like to welcome Team C1 to come up and get the certificate.
Team, please take a photograph.
Oh yes, yes.
Don't tell us.
Shall I be hanged? take these pictures so my wife can laugh at me. My soon-to-be wife.
Fantastic. Okay, and in joint.
Oh, yes, please.
In second place, I'd like to welcome up Team B1 and Team C2.
Okay, you want to do the handing pretend performance? Are we all in?
Thank you.
Of course, winners, welcome Team D3 to come on.
How are we doing this? Can you all get in? As long as your head's visible, I think that's probably.
Thank you.
And I think that just about wraps it up, really. So, as I said earlier, there are canopies and drinks out in the breakout area. And please, if we'd love to get some sound bites and comments as to what you thought of the experience, please speak to my colleagues, Charlie and Hannah, whilst you're out again.
Your family a massive thank
Well
you.
done, everybody.